It's ALCS time here on our Las Vegas Athletics franchise. We've got the division rival Texas Rangers as our opponent here for this series. And for this episode, we're going to be going through these first 4 games, kind of like how we did to start the Cleveland episode. We'll be doing pitching only, then hitting only, pitching only, hitting only once again. And if we sweep this team, that'll be it. But if we don't sweep them, then we'll finish off the series in our next episode. But let's kick things off here with game 1 at Caesars Palace Park here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Gonna see Hunter Green take the mound today. He did not pitch at all in that first series, so this will be his first taste of postseason action. Was very good for us. Since we traded for him at the deadline, he was our major win now move, and time to see if that move was worth it here in the postseason. He'll start out with a flyout there and followed up with a 101 mile an hour fastball just right above the zone. Quite a nasty pitch there. Tyler Stevenson up next. Gonna hit this one over to Arias. Pretty easy play there. So a 1-2-3 inning to start here for Hunter Green. Now, this is a series that I think we should have a lot of offensive success. The pitching rotation for the Rangers isn't anything special here, but their hitting is. So I think we have a good chance of seeing a much higher scoring series than we saw last time with the Guardians, as we get 2 runs across the board, courtesy of Alex Angeles here in the first. Now it's time for us to see if we can't continue on this hot Hunter Green start. Gets Semyon to go around there on the slider outside the zone. His second strikeout so far today. And there's number 3. Slider is in the zone. Bellinger doesn't like it, but it was certainly the correct call. 3-run homer here by Vladdy Guerrero. He continues just an absolutely awesome postseason. Him and Hap have been just carrying this offense here. I mean, not necessarily carrying. Other people are doing well alongside them. It's just that these two have been pretty much unstoppable here in this postseason. We're going to give up a hit here to Garcia to lead off the third. Trying to go for 2 here. That throw from Soderstrom is on time and on target. So we're going to get Garcia out trying to steal a bag there. Beautiful throw from Soderstrom, who my main concern with him is that he's not a very great defensive catcher, but he's good enough to make the play there. That's a beautiful fastball once again. He's had some nice command on these fastballs. High early for these strikeouts. Full count now to Eli White. He's going to get this one into the field of play. But Boyce McDermott tracks it down with ease. And so a third scoreless inning. Things are looking very favorable for us to start this one out. No runs added by the offense here, so we're back out. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa is going to reach here as we couldn't get the play made there. And then Nathaniel Lowe looks at that low circle change, so strikeouts definitely adding up here for Hunter Green. Arias going for the double play, and it will be made. The 5-4-3 to end off the 4th for us. And of course, with these double plays, you always got to see him a second time. One of the best defensive plays in baseball. Offense starting to slow down a little bit here these last couple of innings, so got to keep the pressure on this Texas Ranger offense. Can't let up with our pitching at all here. Corey Seager's going to reach, bringing up Semyon, who's getting this one through the gap, deep back. It's going to go off against the wall. Boyce McDermott, he's making the throw inside. And Seager's going to go for home and just gets it safe. I'm not going to lie, in real time, I thought this one was an on-time throw from Bobby Witt, and it was just like a half second too late. So Texas will get on the board here, but we're not going to let them build any momentum off of that here with these next 2 plays. All of a sudden it's 2 outs, but they do have a man on third. Trying to bring him across here is Josh Jung, but he's going to ground out to Gleyber Torres. So the Rangers will get just the one here, still holding a comfortable 4-run lead. Now on to the 6th. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa is going to line out here to Hap. Got a decent hold of that ball. Low. He's going down on the circle change for the second consecutive at-bat, but this time he's going to go down swinging. So a solid 6th from Hunter Greene. He is looking every bit the part of this win-now pitcher that we acquired at the deadline. Into the 7th now, he's going to get Stevenson to not swing at that circle change well in the zone. Don't know what Stevenson was really looking for there. Corey Seager, though, the very next at-bat is going deep over the fence and 406 feet yard. His first home run here of the postseason brings the Rangers up within 3 now. Just barreled that ball up nicely, and Hunter Greene would come out and get his 9th strikeout there with the next at-bat. But Cody Bellinger is going to reach base here. Just got that fair past the third baseline from the Reyes. He's throwing inside to keep him to just the double there. So man in scoring position. That would be the end of the day for Hunter Greene. His energy had gotten pretty low there. So we'll bring in Gilberto Vasquez to try to finish off the 7th, which he'll do nicely there. His first strikeout of the game and 10th overall for the team. Trying to see if we can't maybe retake a little bit more of a lead, but we couldn't there. Offense has slowed down. Had a really nice start, but just haven't done anything the last several innings. Vasquez, though, is going to keep the strikeouts going. Gets 2 more there in the 8th. I was really impressed with his control, particularly of the fastball in this game. The guy was dotting up the corners, getting ahead of counts quite well. We saw some offense there in the 8th, but not enough to extend our lead. So with it just being a 3-run lead, save opportunity for Zach Jackson. Let's bring him into the ball game here. He's gonna let the grounder go, but a beautiful diving play by Gleyber Torres here will get the out still. Thought that one was gonna be a leadoff hit for Texas for sure, but a beautiful effort by our second baseman. We'll get the out. Tyler Stevenson's up next. Line drives it right to Ian Happ. Pretty unlucky there for him. And then Corey Seager breaking his bat, heading over to Arias. We'll end this ball game. We'll take the 1-0 series lead here against the Rangers. So far, we have not been beaten at home here in the playoffs. You know, pretty small sample size, but now 3-0 at home this post-season. Guys are pumped up about it. You know, there's always fun in division rivalries, but it just takes it up another notch when you meet in the playoffs. Of course, we won the division, had a good year against the Rangers in the regular season, but this is a different ball game, and so you love to see the hot start here. Now going to hop into game 2 here after we see a couple of highlights to end game 1. Vladimir Guerrero with his 3-run homer will end up being player of the game. That makes sense, as those 3 runs are the difference between the tie and the win. But like I said, time to go ahead and take a look at our hitters here in this series. But first, we got to see how Jack Flaherty starts us out here. Got himself, you know, a hit and a walk, so not the best inning, but he does keep it scoreless here. Ian Happ just going to get this one down past the center fielder. He's going for 3 here, and he just might make it. They're not even going to attempt the throw over to third, so Ian Happ here with 1 down gets himself a triple. Vladimir Guerrero going to hit that one off the pitcher, Dane Dunning, who is very much so a breaking ball pitcher. He has no velocity, and really weird to see the Texas dugout celebrating the out when their pitcher just got pegged and we score a run. But hey, not going to comment on the morality of our division rivals, especially when they're hitting Boyce McDermott the very next at-bats. Not happy, I guess, that we hit their pitcher. Dane Dunning taking it out on us there, even though ours was very much so an accident. They're just looking maybe a little bit intentional after 3. Boyce McDermott held up at 3 and then decided to go late for home. Just make up your mind, man. Do one or the other. Don't sit there at 3rd and then decide to go home after that. That is ridiculous. Garcia, he's already thrown us out earlier in this franchise, does so again. Man, that was really bad from Boyce McDermott there. Franmil Reyes gets a hold of this one to right field, and it will go over the wall. Franmil Reyes, his 2nd home run here of the postseason. 355 feet, probably shouldn't be a home run if we're being honest, but we're late enough into the series that I'm not going to worry too much about the dimensions of our stadium. You gotta love the home run nonetheless, extending our lead up 2 runs to nothing over these Rangers. Gotta protect our home field, and so far through, a game and 2 innings, we're doing a good job of it. Gleyber Torres hits that one perfect off the glove of Seager, and he's gonna beat the throw, so he'll get himself on base with a single, bringing up Bobby Witt, who's gonna hit this one sharply out into center field. Throw is good there from Bellinger back inside, and so 2 consecutive singles brings up Ian Happ, who's gonna strike out on the sinker. First strikeout of the day for Dane Dunning. I typically struggle a lot with pitchers like this, as Vladimir Guerrero nearly gets this one to go yard, but what he is gonna do is he's gonna pick up 2 RBIs here on the double. Thought for sure that one was going to cross the wall for a second there. He'll settle for the 2-run double, though. As I was saying, though, I usually struggle against pitchers like Dane Dunning. His pitchers are just so slow, but did a really good job of being patient, and just the thing with these pitchers with slower velocities, you have more time to react and recognize, what pitch is coming at you and make better decisions. And while I've struggled with that in the past, I did a much better job of it here to start this game. 7 hits and 4 runs here early in this one. Things are looking good now. Let's go to the 3rd, where Alex Angeles is going to get this one into the outfield, and it's going to touch down. Hit up against the wall. He's sliding in for the double, which he will be safe. So continuing the momentum here to start the 3rd. Franmil Reyes is back up. He homered last inning, and this time he's going to pick himself up another RBI, this time on the double. Franmil Reyes, a very nice start to this episode here at home. That's going to spell the end of the day for Dane Dunning, which is a shame because I really liked hitting against him. It was, like I said, I was able to just kind of sit back, read and react to what he was showing me here. Nick Martinez would come into the game, and he would end the 3rd there for us. Flaherty continues to pitch, scoreless baseball, but Nick Martinez is coming and has started to slow down the scoring, but until Luis Urias hits this one deep to left field for the no doubt home run. Had a really nice 4th there, as you saw. There was no highlights from it, but here in the 5th, Urias is going to get this offense back on track. 403 feet for his first postseason home run. Exit velocity over 100. Just a beautifully hit baseball. Hitting with Urias this year has really been fun. He got injured there for a bit, but he's been playing well for us this year. Really, when we signed him, I thought it was going to be a 1-year signing, but man, it's going to be hard not to keep this guy on the team with what he's showing us here. Soderstrom is going to get himself an automatic double here. And now we're starting to... Took me maybe a little bit to get used to the new velocity and the new pitcher, but we're starting to pick things up a little bit. Unfortunately, we would not bring Soderstrom across home plate. Guerrero here is going to end off a very quiet 6th, so thought I had some momentum back there in the 5th, but couldn't build on it here in the sixth, and decided with it being a 6-0 ball game and us going through, you know, 4 games here in this episode, I'll just slow sim. If Texas brings it back close, we'll hop back in again. If not, though, we'll call it a good game here from the squad and a game 2 victory. Now into the 9th, still 7-0. Looking to shut these guys out. We got give them 2 walks, followed up with 2 strikeouts, and we do shut out the Rangers here in game 2. Things are looking really good for us, and of course, this is the series where we're playing for a shot at going to the World Series, and so remaining undefeated here at home, now 4-0 in the postseason. Guys are going through their little victory, you know, high five line, whatever you want to call it. 7 runs on 16 hits and an error for us. Only 4 hits allowed by the Rangers. Beautifully pitched game here from Jack Flaherty, who is now 2-0 this postseason, but saw some excellent pitching in both these games, really, and some excellent hitting here in game 2 and the first half of game 1. So this team is hitting on all cylinders, but it's time to take it to the road, where we did lose game 3 in the last series, hoping to avoid that this time around. But you never know, man. I feel like division rivalries usually come up with the most surprises. You'll see, I mean, this is a football reference, but you'll see, you know, teams vying for the #1 pick beating playoff teams in their own division, just because there's so much, you know, animosity between the teams here. And so down 2-0, it's time for the Rangers to really probably kick it up a notch, and it's time for our squad to just put our foot on their throats and get this series over with. We'll be pitching again for this game. Our hitters will be going against Jacob deGrom, still, you know, kicking around his old self, still a major league pitcher here, and he's going to start out by striking out the side here. So nice start to the game for him. On the other side, Ken Waldichuk is going to allow a base hit here to start this game. He's certainly, of the 5 pitchers we're going with here in the postseason, the worst in terms of overall, but his first postseason game, he pitched a complete game. This time trying to go for the double play, we'll have to settle for just the 1. Snowman still on first, now 1 out here, but Tyler Stevenson will draw the walk. Not starting well here is Ken Waldichuk, and that's just going to be compounded here, as that one will hit fair right past the third base line, and Texas will score for the first time, but going for 2. Seager gets a little bit greedy. Franmil Reyes throwing him out, continuing his very nice episode here. Marcus Semien hits this one deep back, and it will hop over the wall. So another run will score on the automatic double. Bellinger, that one is hit fair just down the first baseline this time. A lot of these balls going just fair that you see oftentimes go foul, but 3 runs allowed in the first. Ken Waldichuk, kind of a nightmare first inning for us here. And maybe this game 3 bad luck is continuing for us. We do get one of those runs back here in the top of the 2nd. And Ken Waldichuk is going to start playing on a short leash. Probably at least want to get him through 3 innings in this game, but that was a very bad first. I'm not afraid to pull him earlier than that if this continues, but he's had a good start to the 2nd, getting the first 2 outs, and now he's going to have a 1-2-3 inning. Nice rebound from Ken Waldichuk there after a really bad first inning, coming off with an equally strong 2nd. Offensively here, we have the bases loaded for Guerrero, who strikes out. We can't, okay, good. We can't just sit there and waste, you know, a bit fully loaded bases, no outs there. We only get 1 run from it, which is probably below expectation, but at least we got something. Waldichuk here, back here for the 3rd, which is, like I said, this is after the first inning where I expected his day might end, but 2 really strong innings afterwards. he's going to stay in this game for at least a bit longer. Both teams with 4 hits, but Rangers still lead by 1, trying to get that back, and Bobby Witt's going to do more than that. A 3-run homer now brings us the 2-run lead here. Hap singles afterwards. Man, I love this offense, man. You can have a terrible start to the game and still have a chance, a realistic chance, I might even add, at a win here for Ken Waldichuk. This team is absolutely loaded. Waldichuk there finishes off the 4th. Now going into the 5th, he gets the high strikeout on Julio Pablo Martinez. 2 outs into the 5th. Looking for number 3, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. Lefts it to left. Franmil Reyes makes the play. And from a 3-run first now to 4 consecutive innings. Now looking for a 5th as Guerrero's going to range and make the play up against the dugout wall. Full count. You will allow the Seager walk here. He's had some pretty good hitting performances against us, so I don't hate the walk there. Simeon goes around the super high fastball. Waldichuk would make it through 6th for us, and Bo Schnell would come in to relieve him in the 7th. The fact that Waldichuk ended up with 6 innings in this game is really impressive considering his start. Schnell, though, comes in the 7th. He allowed some pretty good contact from the Rangers, but nothing was able to find the gap or leave the park. So he gets through it cleanly here. And things are looking increasingly like Las Vegas Athletics 3-0 series lead here. The offense, kind of like it did in the other pitching game, slowed down. We got to 5 really early, and then the offense just decided to stop scoring in both of these games. But the pitching remains solid here. Still haven't given up a run since the 1st. And in the 9th, Zach Jackson has an opportunity to close. Still a 5-3 ball game. Let's go ahead and get this one to its conclusion. Stevenson, he's going to ground out to short to start the 9th. Next batter is a strikeout here for Corey Seager. 1 out away from the 3-0 series lead. 1-2 is popped into foul territory. Tyler Soderstrom ranges, makes the grab, and the Athletics have got themselves a very strong hold of this series now. Things are looking very likely for an Athletics World Series run here in this 2027 series. Now let's go ahead and get back to hitting here, trying to secure the World Series here in just one episode by finishing off the Rangers sweep. We'll be going up against Josiah Gray here, not waiting long here to get the first bit of action. Bobby Witt's here on the 2-2 pitch. Hit that one well, but Bellinger does find it out there deep in the outfield. Bringing up Ian Happ. Like I said, he's been absolutely incredible here in this postseason run, but he's going to look at that ball for the first strikeout of the day for Josiah Gray. Vladdy comes in and lifts it deep to center field once again, but we will be caught out again. So a couple flyouts and a strikeout. Not exactly the best way to start offensively, but pitching-wise, Freddie Peralta has had a good start to the game as well. So 1-2-3 for both sides until Boyce McDermott gets the offense started here to lead off the 2nd. Urias up next. That's a wild pitch all the way out near the wall here behind home plate. And so Boyce McDermott finds himself in scoring position easily. Urias, though, will end up striking out. Reyes, he's been really good this episode. Looking to keep this inning alive, but he will not do so. So 2 scoreless innings now for us. Soderstrom, that high fastball is just inside the zone. Back and caught at the wall. Thought it may have been a home run there for a second. Gleyber Torres is going to get a walk there on the borderline pitch. With those strikes out after him, so in danger of a third consecutive scoreless inning, and looks like we're going to do just that. Offense hasn't had the quick start like it has in the first 3 games here of this series, but Freddie Peralta is keeping this Rangers offense at bay as well. Arias smacks this ball deep and past the wall. That will break this tie here in the ball game. His second home run of the postseason. We have seen both of them here. This one goes for 423 feet. Sometimes all it takes is one, baby, and hopefully this can kickstart this offense here. Celebrating with Alex Angeles. The 95-mile-an-hour fastball left, right in a beautiful spot to be able to barrel that one up nicely. Angeles would end the inning for us though, so it'll be just the one, courtesy of Arias. Looks like the Rangers offense also is going to start picking up though. They just needed to be prodded a little bit, I guess, by our first score to wake up themselves. So we're now down 1 here in the 5th from Arias with a leadoff single. We'll get this inning going. Bringing up Soderstrom 0 for 1 today. This slider's left over the middle. That's going to get into the gap out there in left center field. Franmil Reyes is going to round third. Going for the score here, and it is a successful diving attempt. So the RBI double for Soderstrom ties this game back up at 2 apiece. Can't hold this offense back forever. Most of the time, at least I should say. Gleyber Torres has drawn a couple of really lucky walks today. That one was pretty much one of the worst called balls in our favor that I think we've ever seen. Full count here for Vladdy. Slider left in hittable spots. Deep back and caught at the wall again. Man, I thought we had a Vladdy grand slam to open this game up. We'll just have to settle for the 1-run lead though as Soderstrom crosses home. Wes McDermott nearly hit there on that pitch. He'll instead walk over to first. These Rangers have been awfully close to hitting us and or hitting us many times here in this series, but Rios looks at a very nice pitch there to end the inning. So we got the bases loaded, come out with just 1 run. That's not the first time we've done that here against these Rangers. So maybe some missed opportunities, but we'll still hold the lead, and now it's going to grow here with Franmil Reyes, the star of this series against the Rangers, making plays, throwing people out, making plays, hitting time and time again. His 3rd home run of the postseason, 433 feet this time around. We open up a little bit of cushion here on the road. Just smacked this ball, crushed it. Never a doubt it was going yard from the moment it left the bat. Beautiful arc on that one. Gleyber Torres, circle change, lifted to the gap. That one's going to touch down as well, so Gleyber Torres should have extra bases here with 2 outs, top of the 6th. Can we get across now a 5th run here as the top of our order? We'll be back up to bat. Bobby Witt is going to sneak this one through the infield. Gleyber Torres is going home. And for the 2nd time this episode, Garcia is throwing us out from right field, man. We keep testing this guy's arm, and it keeps having pretty much the same result. I wish we would maybe just kind of stop doing that, because it's pretty clear that it's not working, man. We should know not to test Garcia at this point. He's thrown us out too many times in this franchise series here. McDermott going to draw himself another walk here going against Joe Barlow. Arias, though, would strike out after him, so a quiet 7th for us. Now, Zach Jackson trying to close out this series and secure the World Series appearance for the Athletics. Let's go ahead and watch this entire inning. He's got the heart of the Rangers order. Haven't been pitching at all this game, but we're going to pitch this 9th. Count even up now at 2 apiece. And the circle change is going to get the strikeout on Tyler Stevenson. Zach Jackson pumped up after that strikeout. How could he not be? 2 outs away now. Seager, the batter this time. He's going to watch that slider beneath the zone. 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss from Seager. Count evened up. And that is a swing. That is a swing. Wouldn't be a swing that I would be particularly proud of. And he goes down swinging the 2nd consecutive circle change strikeout for Jackson. Just one more, baby. Going against Semien. I remember early on in the franchise, this guy was absolutely killing this team. Oh, what a nice call. We've been getting some generous calls here on the road. Now 2 strikes. Definitely a hittable pitch there from Semien. Can we go 3 for 3 on circle change? Strikeouts? Not there, we can't. 1-2 now. Semien watches it. This game's not over yet. Trying to get him now with the slider, and we do just that. Zach Jackson strikes out the side in the 9th. And the Las Vegas Athletics are going to the World Series here in Season 4. Honestly, oh, we're in 2026. We're not in 2027. I don't know what I'm talking about. I think, so this series, this rebuild has taken probably 2 to 3 years shorter than I thought it probably would. This was my first, series on MLB The Show 23, and really, unlike with my Madden and even my 2K series that I've started, I don't have a lot of experience in the game, so when I saw a lot of these big names on the trade block or in free agency, I went for them, man. I'm maybe a little bit more aggressive in the trade market and everything than I would be typically with my franchises, but it has paid off here. And only 4 seasons to go from the worst team in the league to now going to be appearing in the World Series. This team has been really, really fun with to play. Really fun to play with here in Season 4. It just feels like we don't really have any weaknesses. We can hit for contact. We can string together hits. We can put a bunch of home runs on the board. Our pitching, we have yet to, as we start the World Series next episode, we've yet to allow more than 3 runs in a single game. Gonna be going against the Padres, and I did make this franchise right when MLB The Show 23 came out, so there is no Fernando Tatis, which I do kind of regret. I meant to put him in the series after the first season as kind of like a creative player. Forgot to do so, so this will be the Padres minus Tatis. Also, Juan Soto decided not to return. He went to the Twins here in this franchise, so not quite as strong of a, video game roster. I know they've had some struggles in real life, but video game roster-wise, they're really good, but not quite as strong here in this series, but still definitely a formidable team. Manny Machado was really good. I think probably the best team we will have faced here in the postseason will be the Padres. They're better at hitting than the Guardians. They're better at pitching than the Rangers. A little bit more of a well-rounded team. It should be a good series, an entertaining one, and I am very excited for it. But comparing their team to ours, I gotta say, I think we have the advantage. Yes, Manny Machado has by far the highest overall in the series. I just think depth-wise, we are very, very good and tough to beat. But we will be starting the World Series in next episode. I'll be back soon with that one, and I will see you then.